Welcome to Inspire November edition of Inspire Her. In today's session, we have with us a fellow VIT alumni, Rachna Reddy. Rachna is currently a student at Columbia University pursuing her master's in computer science. Her primary interests are exploring fields such as computer science and data analytics, and she also interned with TCS. Hi Rachna, welcome to the podcast, to the November edition of Inspire Her. So, coming to the first question, you are now currently pursuing master's degree at Columbia. Why did you choose to pursue a master's degree directly after graduation instead of choosing the conventional career path as we have in India, where people gradually take up a job after graduation and then go to the master's?
I think the reason why I wanted to is because I knew that if I would do a job, I would definitely get experience. But then I would lose that studying track that I've already had since my undergrad because I've been studying. So like I know I've been a student for like past 4 years. So like it wouldn't be a difficult transition for me to go to masters. Whereas I know like if I'd be doing a job, of course I'd be getting experience. That's definitely there. But it'll be a difficult transition for me to get back to be a student once I started working, and that was one of the primary reasons why I did choose to go masters immediately after I graduated. Yeah.
Okay, that was something I never thought of before. Like, that transition would be so tough, and this is a really great insight, and it would definitely help me in the future. So, when we talk about pursuing masters in the US, or I've heard people say that you need a GRE of above 320, a 9 CG and above, a TOEFL of above 105 or something like that. So to what extent is that true, and how much do these scores really affect our profile?
I mean, whatever scores you just told, I do not pass any of them. Like none of them I cut off. So that's what I believe. I do not believe that it's necessary to have a certain amount of cutoff because like for TOEFL there is a specific cutoff every university asks for. But other than that, for GRE and your GPA and all of those things, they do not ask for a cutoff. They do not say, like, if you're like this much, then you will get in, or if you're not this much, then you won't get in. There's no rule as such. So I think that is what a lot of people have to, I think need more knowledge in. I don't think a lot of people have that much of knowledge about that because the universities don't look for just one or two factors. They just don't look for your GPA and they're like, yeah, you're a good candidate for the university. They look at a lot of other factors. And if I feel, and because I knew that these were not strong points of my profile, I mean, not that strong as other people's, which is why I focused on other aspects like research and internships and all of that. So I do not believe that like only if you have a certain GPA you will get in, otherwise you won't get in. There's nothing like that, yeah.
So it's basically like the foreign universities basically consider your whole profile as a
it's
as a part of your application and not just your scores.
Yeah, for sure.
So I still have chances.
You do, we all do.
Yeah. So in terms of your resume, when I went through it, I found that you did two research internships and published two research papers. So was research something you were always interested in, or you got the exposure at VIT? You got interested in the field?
I think I got exposed to it once I came to VIT because like I was trying to explore different things in my undergrad. Like I think in my second year, third year, I was trying to see what are the different options that I can do because VIT does provide a lot of options for all of us to explore. And I think research was something that I thought I would be interested in. And I approached my professors. I asked, if it was okay to join their team and whatever. And yeah, I realized that I am pretty interested in research. Yeah, I think it's definitely once I went to undergrad that I realized this. Yeah.
So like, is it very hard or what's the workflow like? Because currently I also thought of pursuing research, but it's damn intimidating for me right now. So what? Yeah.
So if you one of the best ways I think you can do research is through approaching professors because they have done it before and they have helped a lot of other students who have done it. So the first thing is I would say, of course, the first thing is you should know what you want to work on, the interest. Because I mean, honestly, like even any field that you take, there's so many fields that you can go inside. Even if it's just computer science, it's such a huge thing. So I think it's important to know which field you want to work in. I think once you know, then you can just approach the professors, and I think they'll be good enough to guide you. At least professors in VIT or any, I think, good universities will be able to like help you through the process. So yeah.
Thanks for clearing that out, actually. So, like, many of my friends, we talk about applying to foreign universities. So, what's the application process like? And when would you advise your juniors to start with the application process, actually? Because it's a long process, as far as I know.
Yeah, it is a long process. If you're asking me about the profile building, I would say like whenever, as soon as you can, like you should be doing it at every point, whatever you can do. But if you ask me about applying to the universities, then I would say third year, like the third year last time. I applied in my last semester. No, I applied in third year. Yeah. So you can do that. Like, I don't think that would be a problem as long as your profile is good, right? Because I feel if you have everything you need, then you just have to present it nicely. So I would say focus more on the profile building aspect as much as you can. Because once you get into that thing of application process, you cannot really build any profile, because you're more into writing your SOP, your LORs, and like you're in that field. But then so that I would advise to start your application at third year. But profile building wise, if you're asking me, then like as early as possible.
So this is while you're getting your admits and all, your friends will be getting placed and something or the other is happening. So, and you are constantly getting rejections. So, how would you advise people to like deal with that phase?
Honestly, yes, it is a very difficult phase. I have to say that, and it's a very anxious phase because you don't know if you're even gonna get an admit, and then everyone's like earning technically, and you don't even know if you're gonna get into university or not. It is pretty difficult, but I would just say like pull through. Like you should just believe in the process. You should believe in yourself because if you feel and I mean, yeah, as much as believing in yourself and all of that, but I think you should also make some sort of smart decisions in which universities you're applying to. I feel that is very, very important. Even though if you have a great profile, but if you choose the wrong universities, then you are going to get rejects, If you know that, your profile is it's really good, but then it might not be good as much as the other universities, but it might be really good for like some other universities. So it will, if you're applying for the very ambitious ones, then you are going to get rejections, right? So I think if you're making that smart decisions when you're applying, and at the same time, you have a good profile and all of that, then you just have to believe in the process and like get through it. Like, yes, it's going to be an anxious phase. You might get rejections and all of that, but just like go through it. It's fine. It's okay. Because in the end, I think it should all be good. Yeah.
So, like a few days ago, I was going through a Medium article regarding your profile, and I saw that you got loads of admits. So I was wondering that would have been a good dilemma to be in, but it would be very difficult to choose which university you should take your admit after all, because it's a very crucial decision. So how would you go about it?
So I would say if there are like multiple admits and then you are kind of confused of what to choose, firstly, I would say go with the coursework. That's the first thing I would say. Look at the courseworks of all the universities and see what really aligns with you. Personally, for me, Columbia was because even though I am doing computer science, I wanted to do more on the machine learning and, more those kinds of courses. And Columbia had a separate track for different fields like computer vision, machine learning, and natural language processing. So I knew that even though computer science is a very important thing, I can still do the courses that I can specifically go into. So I think first thing I would say coursework. Look at the coursework and see, uh, what does it really align, which ones really align with your interests and all of that. That's the first thing. And nextly, I think it's also you can look at some of the research opportunity. It really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for like some startup ideas and you want that startup culture, then you can go into that sort of universities. And if you want to go into research, then I think every university usually is pretty good for research, but you can look into that aspect as well. So those two would be the second thing. First would be the coursework. Second would be whether you want to go into startup, like what are you looking for? If it's research, then you can go according to that. And I think one more thing that I realized once I came here is location. I think, being, especially Colombia, being in New York City, I feel like it really helps me to get into that stress relief or whatever it is, not just in terms of that, but like job searching or anything like that. So I think location is also, once I came here, I realized it, but I think location is also pretty important. Yeah. So I think these three would be the main three factors if you want to choose from. Yeah.
I never knew that location would be an important factor among all these factors. Whatever I thought, like cost,
Even I,
professors, research profile, and all. I never thought that location would be something you would have to consider while choosing a university.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like coming to the final question, what would you advise your juniors? Suppose like the first year, second years, third years, they are building their profiles for either for job, for the university abroad, anything. What would your advice in general be to them?
I would say, like for masters specifically, I would say that try to be authentic. Try to do something that you want to put it out. If you're genuinely interested in something, I would say just work on it. Try to do anything that you can and put it in your profile. And also I would also say that don't do everything looking for that. Don't do everything thinking, okay, fine, if I do this, then I might have a higher chance. Because I feel undergrad is a place where you can really explore, you can really see what interests you and what does not. So I feel it's important to experience all of those as well. So don't just keep in your mind that, oh, like I have to apply for my master's, or I have to I have to sit for placements, and this is why I should be doing like this, I should be doing like that. Just like explore, but keep this at the back of your head that okay, this is what I want, so I should be doing something in that direction. And yeah, like I would say, like once I came to masters, I realized that undergrad is much more chiller, like than your masters, or like probably once you get your job. I would also say have fun, enjoy your undergrad as well, because I feel like it's not gonna come back again. Yeah, you're not gonna experience
So,
it.
like, we should not do something just for sake of doing it, so that because it will increase our chances to get into a certain university.
Yes.
So we should not do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say do not do that at all. Of course, you have to do that because this is like it's a good thing that if you do that, but don't do everything based on that. You don't have to do everything based on that. Like even if you want to join, because I was a part of a lot of chapters and like clubs in VIT that does not necessarily have any sort of effect on my master's like profile. Like I was into like one of the dance clubs or like whatever, but then I realized that this is something that I enjoy, and that is why I was in it. I did not expect anything out of it. So everything that you do, especially in your undergrad, you don't have to keep that in mind and be like, okay, you should, based on your research and projects and all of that, but not everything, because you still want to have fun, right? Like it's your undergrad and you're not going to get that time again. So I would say keep a balance, like, but don't do everything because of this. Yeah.
Okay. So that's really helpful to me right now. So that I guess that's the end of the podcast.
Okay.
It was a very informative session. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for doing this podcast. And I'm sure that our listeners will definitely be grateful to you for this podcast and helping them out. So, guys, that's a wrap for this month's spot, Inspire Her. Thank you for tuning in and see you in the next edition of this installation.